Okay, you need a little bit more, you know, I think I'm gonna add those details in color. Okay, there are the lines for the little onion prints here. It's adorable. Let me make sure I like the lines more than I like the sketch. And I do. We're good. Okay. Goodbye sketch. Let's get layers set up in our folder here. Make you the reference and start doing flats. Let's see, I want an orange or red. I don't think I want quite that dark though. Okay, let me get another flats on. I think I'm going to end up lightening that one. I really like this little character. He's got a cute design. Okay, let's do just like a slightly lighter. I wish that Procreate had a better fill tool, a better paint bucket tool. I don't like having to drag the colors over. I wish you could just like hold something down and be like, and now I am filling, and then click things like every other painting program in the world. But I mean, if that's the only gripe I have with the entire program, then I think it's doing pretty good. Now, I learned recently that Procreate's got like an animation feature now that's fairly new, and I'd love to test that out at some point. But I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how it is. It's because if it's good, it'll be great, because the you know, I have not heard of that one. Krita. I'll put that on my list of ones I need to try out, because I'm using Rough Animate right now, and it's been doing pretty good for me, but I'm always, you know, I was happy using Flip-a-Clip before that until I tried Rough Animate and realized, oh snap, there are all these features I didn't even know I was missing that now I'm not missing anymore. So I'd love to try out all of the different animation programs and see what works best. And the things, I think different animation programs are going to just in general work better for different things. So that's why it's important to try them all, I guess. Okay, let's make you a little redder. Interesting. Why? And I don't love the Adobe programs in general. They're just not user-friendly enough for me. I get frustrated with all of the extra tools that they just like throw in, and the filters and things that I don't need. I get frustrated with how they are. I don't like the user interface very much. I definitely don't like the way their business is run and how they treat their customers and that type of stuff. So I don't really know how to use Adobe programs very well, because I just in general tend to not use them. But there are some things that you legitimately need Adobe for. Like if you ever want to open a PDF your entire life, you need Adobe. And I hate that you need Adobe to open a PDF, but that's just how the world is right now. You know, I bet they did something in the world to try to drive out all the other PDF opening programs. That seems like a thing a business people would do. You know, I wish I was more of a fan of Adobe, because the head Adobe building is literally like a 7-minute drive from where I am right now. If I liked Adobe and wanted to like get a job at Adobe, you know? I theoretically could very easily because the commute is just like right there. But I just don't care for Adobe. And I think one of the things that I'm least happy with Adobe in general is so I haven't posted very much of it because I don't like how it looks for the most part. But I do a decent amount of vector animation, not just frame by frame stuff. Sorry, I'll read that after I finish my tangent here. So I use Moho Studio for vector animation, and they are the ones who developed a lot of the bone rigging systems and like specific point rigging and just a lot of stuff that that Adobe just came in and was like, no, actually, that was us. We're the ones who made skeleton systems in animation. See how much superior ours is, and they just went and stole everything that Moho had made. So that's one of the reasons I really dislike Adobe, is just because they keep doing that. They keep being like, that's a nice unique animation program you got there. Would be a shame if we made our own competing animation program that just happens to have all of the exact same tool sets and things that you've spent years and years developing. But I digress. Let me read the comment now. Okay. Yeah, that is one thing that Adobe has on a lot of other programs, is the ability to work well between. Yeah, and that's a really, really important thing to be able to do, especially if you're doing like heavy commission work, things for clients, that, you know, it doesn't matter if you like how it looks. They might just be like, you know what, go change everything. We've changed our minds on what we told you to do. So reworkability is a very, very important thing in a program, I think. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get this to blend correctly, but still look like how it needs to look. I'm having a tough time with it. Okay, let's neat that up for a second and try. What's my in between here? That's not good. Oh, I'm on alpha lock that way. Nope, wrong thing. Yeah, I have this bad habit of not keeping my work in progress files when I make edits to something, and just being like, oh yeah, this is the edit they want, so that's the thing they'll want, so I change it, and then they come back to me like, never mind, I liked the thing that you did before, and I'm like, well, bad news, that file's gone forever. So that's a very bad habit of mine that I need to not do. Still a little too green. I want that to be a little redder, a little less saturated. And I liked this color, so I'm going to bring it back in. Sorry, so I don't have the reference picture up here, but if you look up the onion prints here, he's got a lot of heavy 3D texturing going on, and I'm trying to kind of replicate that while not doing anything too overly detailed, because it doesn't fit in with the chibi style anymore if it's too detailed. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that in shading. So that's what I'm working on right now, is getting some of these details in. Without making it too detailed. And some of them are working fine and looking good, and some of them are being mean to me. Yeah, no, it's not an OC. I don't think so. I think it's from Final Fantasy. I could not find for the life of me any like video on what this character looked like. So I'm just going entirely off of the reference images that I was given. So I'm hoping I got the pose right, because they said they wanted him mid dance, and I don't know if he's got like a specific like iconic dance that he does, but if he did, I feel like it would have come up when I like went on Google and looked up Onion Prince dance. But I could not find any video of this character at all. So I think they're probably a more obscure guy within the Final Fantasy canon, which is a shame because it's such a cute little character design. Okay, I swear I can get this. I swear I can get this shape right. It has to be just so. These lines are really important because they're going to define the shape of the entire head. There we go. Okay. And then let's actually bring you on top of there, and then kind of work on whoop. Not quite. Okay, no, never mind. We'll make that its own. Yet another layer in this head here. We're getting complicated, but it's important. I want it to look good. Sometimes, so on the commission page, I just have a section that's like, let me know what character you'd like, references, descriptions, poses, etc. So some people will give me a specific pose, some people will just send me a link to like their toy house, some people will just send me like a picture of the character. So it really depends, but this one did specifically want it to be doing a dance, so, or mid dance, I think is what they said. So yeah, we got some sort of dance going on here. That is not the brush I wanted. I wanted you. There we go. Yeah, that's cute. Maybe a little less so on this particular guy here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I like how that turned out. Oh, I forgot I need to actually do shading on this entire thing. Yep. Shoot, accidentally deleted his other cheek. Ah. Well, I want to do like a... Oh yeah, I do. That looks nice. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. Come on, smudge tool, play nice. Yeah, okay. And then let's make you a little less orange. And a little brighter. A little bit, yeah. A little pumpkaboo-esque. And to be fair, in the reference picture, he does look very, very pumpkin-y, which is part of why it's so hard to make him look more like an onion than a pumpkin. But I think we're doing pretty freaking good so far, honestly. I'm very, very happy with how this guy's turning out. I give him some nice shinies. Let's try doing more like up here, kind of. Wrap it back up there. Yeah. Oh gosh, he's turning out cute. Okay. Onto the shirt here, and let's see, you are still alpha locked. I'm gonna do some of the detailing. So I'm gonna do the detailing here on the shading instead of on the line layer, because that'll make it not as, it'll make it subtler. So it's got a bit more like variation in detail rather than, you know, if it was in the lines, it wouldn't look as good from afar. Which, you know, I'm drawing this nice and big, but when I print him out, he's going to be just a little guy. So it's important to me to have the chibis look good when they're very small. But I mean, that being said, I still draw them all big enough. I found this out recently when I started doing the plushies. I drew them all big enough that you can absolutely blow them up to the size of like a pillow and they all still look pretty good. I haven't had any problems with pixelation so far, but okay. Now let's get you some shading. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, but when I print them normally as chibi badges, they're usually pretty freaking small. And I like them that way. They're cute. And they are meant to be cute. I wonder when conventions are going to come back. I think right now the first one we have that hasn't canceled yet is in May, but I don't know if it's going to cancel before it actually comes to it. And even if it doesn't, I don't know how many people are actually going to go, because I personally would be scared to leave quarantine to go to a convention. You know, if it wasn't my job, I'd be really scared to do it unless like there was a proven working vaccine out there that they distributed to everyone, you know? But I guess I'm also like a little paranoid about this thing. You know, I really didn't think I would live through a pandemic. Like, it's just, it's surreal. It's very strange. I feel kind of like bad for playing the game Pandemic so many times and like laughing at the human race for their their foolishness and how bad they are getting their stuff together and getting rid of such an obvious threat. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling too. So I'm wondering if these conventions that haven't closed yet are going to close, or if they don't, what they can possibly do to try to keep themselves safer. You know, because it's really hard to social distance at an anime convention. You know, I wonder if they'll like limit attendance and strict are strictly enforce social distancing. I don't know. Okay, let's get. I think this one we can just do on the layer. I'm not going to make a sub layer for it. So generally, when I'm shading here, I'll make sub layers when I'm not 100% confident. That's such a mood. My dad has actually been delivering us groceries. Because he's still had to, be out and about. His job hasn't shut down yet, and he can't just be like, well, screw you guys, I'm staying home. So he's been going grocery shopping for us and bringing us food and just like leaving it on our doorstep because, we still are not 100% certain that we're safe to be around people. But at least whatever Brittany has, and she is recovering really well, by the way. She's had like a little bit of a fever today, but we had to take our cat to the vet, so we had to leave the house, and the stress of that, I'm sure, in no way was helping her. But for the most part, her fever's almost completely gone. She's had much more energy. She's she's been doing much better, but like regardless of if what she has / had and is getting over here is actual COVID, still don't want to be spreading secondary infections to people either, so okay. Not quite. Still not quite. Nope. Let's try moving you over this way just a tiny bit. There we go. Oh, he's turning out so cute. Yeah, but my cat went and got himself sick, so we had to go take him to the vet. So we had to leave. We left the house yesterday to go talk to Brittany's uncle, who is a vet, but he wasn't in his office. He was at home, and he said we should get a urine sample or a urine test done on our cat. So we went today to take him to go get the urine sample done, and that should be the last we have to leave the house for that. So I guess unless we need to get him a specific type of food that we can't get him online, but yeah, we've been doing more online ordering than we normally would through this whole thing. Although I was reading something about someone who had been self-isolating like since February, and they got COVID from a package that they ordered. Because either someone who delivered it or someone at the warehouse where it was shipped, had it and touched it. So yeah, if you get a package, you still got to be careful touching your package. We've actually been like, when this whole thing started, my mom bought everyone just like a bunch of cleaning supplies that were you know, like proven to help with, you know, cleaning COVID. So we've got like a big old thing of soap that we've just been like wiping down everything that comes into our house with, and then washing our hands before doing anything else. We're really trying to be safe with this thing because it's a terrifying looking disease, and you know what, I think this is still a little too saturated. Sorry, give me a second, I gotta... Still a bit red though. Make it blue. Huh? I think I liked how I had it before. Okay, let me try just doing saturation then, and then brightening it up just to the tiniest bit. I think I liked where I had it. Okay, you know what? Maybe what I need is highlights on this one, actually. Oh, I turned it to multiply. Whoops. Screen's what I like doing for highlights. I was saying something about drawing before. Oh, right. I usually only do a separate layer for adding the shading on something when I'm not 100% on my ability to get the colors right, and I think I'll have to do some color correction. When it's small details like the X's and the legs there, something that I'm fairly confident I can get the shading right on, I usually don't do another layer. Just because I don't like how tedious it is to make a new layer. And that's a dumb thing to build my my file setup on. And there are so many times that, like, if I'd just taken those 2 seconds to make a new layer, you know, then I could just do a color adjustment and not have to recolor the entire thing. But I never learned. In fact, with this one, I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't need to make a new one, then I did. So, there you have it. Okay. I think that is done. I think we've finished the onion prints. Which means we're going to move on to Mira from Animal Crossing. So, give me a second to duplicate my template layer here. Okay, let me make sure, go over to my spreadsheet here, make sure that there's no, yeah, okay, so no specific pose instructions for Mira, so we're gonna do, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it, shoot, okay, well, I mean, Mira's got, like, superhero vibes going on, so we should do something heroic for sure, so maybe, like, a... Okay. I swear I can draw a circle. I can't actually. Circles are notoriously difficult to draw, but... I know, this part doesn't look like much, I'm sure, but for me, it's... Like, I get an automatic visualization of what the head angle is when I do one of these, so it's very important for me to get that beginning circle just right. Now that I think about it, I have a lot of pretty specific, what's the word I'm looking for? Rituals. I have a lot of very specifics and rituals and things that I do when I do these drawings. So a little a little OCD-esque now that I think about it, but I think everyone has OCD tendencies. It's just when it becomes debilitating that it becomes like a... No, maybe not everyone. I don't know. I am not a psychologist. I do not know things like that, but I think a lot of people have heavy OCD tendencies without being OCD, especially on like the autism spectrum. I think there's a lot of crossover, and with ADHD too. I think there's a lot of crossover in like having specific tics and things. But yeah, I have, now that I like am actually thinking about it and putting it into words, I do have a lot of like rituals that I have to have just right. Like my layer ordering has to be right, and I have to have so many blank layers on top before I can comfortably start drawing, little things like that. So that's something I'm aware of now. Not quite. Yeah, there we go. So I've been playing New Horizons, and I finally got KK to visit my town, which means I got to do the concert. So I got to see the credits sequence for the game. Can we talk about how there was only one animator on the entire project? Because that means they animated all of the characters and all of the objects and all of the dialogue boxes and the everything. There is so much animation that goes into that game. It's just ridiculous to me that there was only one animator on the entire project. Because, like, every single piece of furniture, well, not everyone, but every furniture that has animation has got, you know, that's a thing that one guy had to do. Like, why didn't they hire more animators? Why was there only one animator on the entire game? It's ridiculous. Okay. I think I actually want it to flip out a little bit more outside of this curve here than it